Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Say Bros podcast, where anything can happen,
Ooh.
except for misogyny. And today I am joined by a very special guest. He is a fellow brother in Christ and a staunch member of the gym, as you can see. He's literally sizzling as we speak. He is the one and only Easygoing. Easy, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me. This is going to be exciting. I've never done this before. So.
Yes, this is a first for both of us. And then behind me is my cameraman and acting moderator. He is going to make sure that neither of us walk away with bloody flesh hanging out of our teeth. And if either of us start talking over each other or derailing the conversation, just jump in and let us know.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is going to be brutal tonight because we are debating in typical Bloodsport fashion, Christian versus Christian, the very hot topic of women's voting, feminism, and politics in church.
Let's go.
So with that, folks.
Yeah, there's no easy way to chop this.
No. So why don't we have you get into your opening statement?
Oh, okay. I was hoping you would go first, but I can whip this up. Let me see. All right, so I have a few quick notes I wrote on a really scrappy piece of paper.
Go for it.
The premise of my argument is, I guess there's three main ways I'm going to tackle this. There's the religious aspect. There is the practical aspect. So like how do I think it's better that women have the right to vote in like in a practical, like day-to-day way, how it affects that.
Okay.
And then there's the ethical, why I think it's right morally and all that other good stuff.
Okay.
To tackle each of those points, I think I'm going to build my case mainly on the ethical and the practical points. Do you want me to get into the base of my argument, or do you want me to just, is that as much as you want from me?
Whatever you want to do. Man.
All right.
Shoot from
Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much of my argument, so it's like very defensive. But and then on the other, what was the second topic? It was the separating
feminism.
church and Christ, or so
Politics
separating
and church.
politics and church. Yeah, I'm not like super confident on this one yet, so I'm gonna kind of this like debate is mainly gonna be me, feeling out your arguments, and I'm willing to change my mind, but just like intuitively, I think the separating the two sounds right to me.
Okay.
So
church and
politics. Church and politics. So I'm excited to see what you have to say.
Okay.
But yeah, give me your opening statement.
All right, we'll go for it. Okay. Oh, that's not mine. Sorry. Here it is. I think I lost the. Hang on one sec. Here for you, Christian, that would be the last one. All right, here we go.
You got a number of these things.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Christianity is a patriarchal religion. Christianity has always been a patriarchal religion. Everything from the union between a man and a woman to the church structure laid down by the Apostle Paul to the fact that God came to earth as a man and refers to himself as our Father in heaven is patriarchal. Paul explains in 1 Timothy 2:12-14, I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man, because Adam was created first. In Ephesians 5:22, wives submit to your husbands as to the Lord. Thus those who say they are Christians and yet advocate for female suffrage or votes for women, or any form of female supremacy over a man, whether knowingly or unknowingly, are actually usurping men's authority by giving women an equal part in the affairs of the man. Thus they are resisting the patriarchy and therefore resisting God's divine order for the creation. Patriarchy has always been good for society. Many nations we can point to which have stronger structures of patriarchy and where women have limited rights, Dubai, Kuwait, Saudi, ECT, we see societies flourishing. In the past, when we had stronger structures of patriarchy in America, even going back as late as the 1950s, rates of rampant promiscuity were extremely rare. 95% of women were getting married as virgins. Families were intact. Only 5% of children were born out of wedlock. You could live on a one-person income. Mental health disorders were at an all-time low, and people were far more happy and fulfilled. Now, after over 100 years of female suffrage, our birth rate is in the toilet. We can't tell you what a woman is. It's slated to be 45% of women childless in the next 10 years, 60% in the next 30. 80% of women from the ages 24 to 34 say they won't They don't want to have a family. We have gay marriage, trans rights, women's rights, abortion rights, no-fault divorce, rampant pornography, rising numbers of single mother households, and churches, largely in the Protestant sects, pastored by simtards who preach antithetical doctrines from the pulpit, like women don't need men, and happy wife, happy life, and politics in church. These same buffoons who refuse to charge their congregation to vote against the killing and mutilation of children on the basis that a man's tone is too sarcastic, or unfounded claims that Jesus and his disciples were never political, have the temerity to take time out of their sermons from the pulpit to brazenly bash on the red pill, a political movement, by firebranding them as a bunch of jerks, without even engaging one of the red pill's arguments with the purpose to refute it, or understanding where they stem from, or giving them any credit for some of the good points they do make. Thus, it becomes quite clear what their true motive for election radio silence really is, which is, of course, pandering to feminists and female listeners. As a result of female suffrage, men and women are the most unhappy, anxious, lonely, and depressed they've ever been. 70 million babies have been murdered. Many young men are leaving the Protestant churches. 1 in 4 women are depressed. Many more of them are childless. 40% of children are born out of wedlock. Our education system has been polluted by Marxist feminist dogma, and the entertainment industry propagandizes children and young women to think of men as useless, bumbling idiots. The entirety of women's voting in the U.S. has been a complete, unmitigated disaster, and women's voting patterns prove it. It has led to progressive policies, societal decay, and basically every form of social degeneracy you see in society. In the past, my opponent has posited the Bible verse in Deuteronomy, which says, "I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore choose life," as scriptural backing for women's suffrage, in that, this being purely hypothetical, women should have the right to either choose to vote for a liberal, progressive, lesbian politician running on an amoral, systematic set of policies which would authorize them to hump their mother, or follow God and not vote for that politician. But he fails to take into account that no women nor men had suffrage in the Bible, and anyone can follow God's commands without the right to vote. I've also heard from many Protestant Christians in the past that Galatians 3:28, which states emphatically, "There is neither male nor female, for we are all one in Christ Jesus," is a scriptural license for women to vote to vote alongside men, and that Christianity fueled the first wave of feminism, baby. But if that is the case, then what they're actually saying is that God, through his holy word, literally advocated for every form of social degeneracy I just mentioned, that including the first wave of feminists, which resisted the patriarchy, laid the groundwork for the destruction of the nuclear family, rewrote the Bible, called Lucifer the Liberator, had seances while performing sex magic on each other. It continually baffles me how these ignoramuses can claim all of this in the name of Christianity, but they just can't tell women to sit down and shut up. It creates a lot of maggies like me, who inevitably leave their church after practically getting cast out like a leper, belittled, firebranded, called stupid, useless, infantile, not by the members of enemies of Christianity for the sake of the gospel, but by all these supposed Christians who claim to follow God. It not only gives our enemies fuel to blaspheme the name of Christ when we let women or very effeminate men with absurd worldviews into the pulpit to become leaders and pastors, but it leads to Christianity being framed as a petty, feminized, pacifist, silly religion that no one takes seriously, because why should they? And last point here. Almost all of our founders were Christians who didn't give women the right to vote, not because they were ignorant, knuckle-jagging Christian cavemen, because no women wanted the right to vote. Patriarchy, meaning of the father or rule by the father, historically has protected women from politics. Women in lieu actually enjoyed the protections they had. Now that all that's gone, rather than having the moral high ground, women are exploited as voting blocks to be pandered to by corrupt politicians who continually prey on their maternal instincts at the expense of their country's long-term interests. Withal, women can vote to send men to war, which they themselves will never have to fight. Because they can't, because they never could, and they never will. Thus, unlike men, they cannot be drafted. That's all I have to say about that, my friend.
That's definitely a one up on mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's hard to compete with. There's a lot to cover there. That's great. All right. Do you want to start with a specific thing, or do you want to challenge? I guess.
Yeah,
How do you want to go about this?
Yeah, I'll ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still hold to all these positions that I stated?
Yeah, I would say just pick one. I'll give you 2 minutes to argue against it.
Okay. So pick one of his statements. Yeah. To answer your question, yeah,
Yeah.
I still hold my beliefs.
Okay.
And I'm excited to defend them
Yeah.
to the best of my ability and my knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I want to tackle the exploitation. You mentioned, what is it? Oh, whoops. That's right. Oops. One job. All right. Yeah. Now I want to tackle the exploitation. You mentioned exploiting political candidates, exploiting, or just parties in general, exploiting women's maternal instincts. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So can you give me like an example of that and how?
Sure.
I don't know. One way that's like negatively.
Yeah. The most common I'd say would be illegal immigration, where the Democrats will have these commercials where they portray like all the children in cages, or the families being torn apart,
Mm-hmm.
and women get really upset about that, or like taking health care away
Mm-hmm.
from their grandma, so
Right.
their grandma will die, or whatever. Or what's another one?
So about that, do you think that that's specifically targeted towards? Because that would make me sympathetic. If I'm seeing children in cages and families torn apart, that would make me upset.
Right. Well, it's largely exaggerated, I'd say.
Right, but it's still to the same point. I don't think that it's fair to say that women are foolish enough to fall for such tricks. Because I mean, that would get me. So my what I would say to that is, is it right to, because these political parties and these specific candidates are trying to prey on people's or just like maternal instincts in general, and they're exaggerating things. Do you think that should be cracked down on, or do you think the women should be cracked down on?
Well, both, honestly. But taking women's right to vote away would definitely solve the problem as well.
I don't think it would completely solve it. You might put a dent in the problem, but I don't think you're not getting at the root. You're attacking the victim instead of the offender.
Yeah. But even like then, I don't think if you took away women's right to vote, there wouldn't ever be another liberal politician.
I completely disagree.
In. How so?
You think that it's just women that are responsible for liberal?
Mostly women. Yeah.
I disagree, because there's a lot of policies that favor just people that aren't women.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like men and women want abortion policies,
mm-hmm.
regardless, right? Men and women want gay rights.
Mm-hmm.
Men and women, a lot of them want the, I don't know, to like a more socialist society, right?
Sure.
Harsher, or they want the tax codes to change,
mm-hmm.
so that you tax the rich, more taxes on the rich, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just women that want these things. I think it's a lot of people, and I think that it'd be wrong to say that if you took away all the women's votes, that we would never have a liberal candidate, because there are so many women who are conservative voters.
Yeah, but no, because it's mostly it's like 20%, I think. So
that's 20% is a lot of voters, but
yeah.
So do you have the specific? Because I don't have the numbers, but do you have the numbers on liberal voters that are women, like the percent of the?
I'm pretty sure it's.
So I guess the other 80 would be, or unless there's like third parties.
80% of them would be liberal, or libertarian.
And there's no like third party percent.
No, I don't know the statistics on that one, but I think Ron has. He's pulling them up right now.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. We got numbers.
In the United States, about 30% to 40% of women identify as politically liberal, depending on their age, with the highest concentration among younger generations.
Okay.
In terms of actual electorate, women make up approximately 57% of Democratic liberal-leaning voters.
Okay.
57%. So it's not like overwhelming.
No, but that's still a large amount of very
so
large.
So it's 7% over conservatives.
Population.
So 7% over conservatives. That's not the deciding vote.
The conservatives?
7%.
Of conservatives.
Yeah.
Deciding vote on what?
So 7% will not change, or will not I don't think it'll be a drastic change. I don't think it'll be an absolute conservative every time. And even conservative every time, I would argue that that's not the best way to go.
To
For
conservative
a
every time?
conservative vote,
Yep.
for a conservative, because
Wait a
look
minute,
at,
you're
so-
not conservative?
no. I am conservative, and I think that this gets really theoretical.
Mm-hmm.
So let me set this down.
Go ahead.
So I think that I think that the founding fathers did an incredible job of making sure that it was as fair as possible.
Sure.
So I think in order for their the best societies, and even this can bleed into religion.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't think the founding fathers gave anybody the right to vote except elite property owners, and
But
they weren't fair.
well,
In
maybe
terms
I'm
of
wrong.
fairness.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe
They
I'm
were
wrong
just
in that.
thinking of the
But I'm
country's
okay.
long-term
Let me
interests, so
rephrase that. So I think that it's really important for the health of our society that there's no domination.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's you having two parties
Mm-hmm.
is so important to the health of our society, because it brings in a choice. If there wasn't a choice and there was one party domination,
Mm-hmm.
we would see, I think we would see very similar, things like we see in Russia and China, where there's just one party domination.
Mm-hmm.
It may start out in theory,
Mm-hmm.
it's great, but it doesn't work practically, because when there's domination like that,
Mm-hmm.
there's a whole group of people that's not heard, and that inevitably will, over time, maybe not at first, but over time will definitely be subject to, I don't know, to all kinds of abuse.
Yeah.
Just like their rights are disregarded. They're they're just treated poorly in general. I mean, if we look at men.
You mean women? Women's rights will be abused?
I'm talking about just everybody. Okay, so if you are a part of a society, you should have a choice in what happens, right?
Sure.
If you and I
Take
participate,
it,
right? We pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
We I don't know. We work jobs. We participate in society, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you let's look at a mother of a couple children
Sure.
in America.
Mm-hmm.
She gave birth to let's say she gave birth to 3 children. So she is increasing America's population, right?
Yeah.
So if she's playing a very important part in it, don't you think she should have a choice in what goes on, or a say in what goes on?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
But the men who fight the war should.
Yeah. Well, can you argue against why should a women who can't fight in wars? There's no women on the front lines of combat. They can't defend the border. They can't defend the nation.
I think there are women
build
in
the
the military,
infrastructure.
but I don't
But they're
think
not on the front lines of combat.
No, for sure not. I mean, you're not on the front lines of combat.
So
Why do you have a vote?
Because the potential is there. Because I can be drafted.
But I don't think that. But you're not participating.
Well, no, well, I could.
You
that's
have
the thing.
you
I
have
can't.
the
I'm not right
ability,
now.
yeah, but you
the
don't.
potential is there
I
because
want
the
to
potential.
interject here. It says, yes, women serve on the front lines of combat in many countries, including the U.S., UK, Canada, Australia, and Israel.
And you got that from neverhappened.com is where you got that.
No, because there are.
That's insane. Just think of that for
Yeah.
a second. Women, you think if a 6'5" man goes down in battle,
Sure.
she's gonna be able to throw him over her shoulders and
No,
carry him to
but
safety?
all right. Well, let's look at. I mean, all right. How many situations do you have today where it's hand-to-hand combat in front lines?
I'm not sure.
It's very rare that you run hand-to-hand. It's you're shooting, or you're flying drones, or you're planes, or or 2 ships are shooting at each other.
Yeah.
You're never going toe-to-toe with another man. It's very rare.
Yeah, but the potential is there. That's the
But
thing.
no. But that's
Even
not.
if it's not
Okay.
happening right
All
now.
right. Let's look at it this way. Okay. So taking that principle, this is going to be a little strange, but I'm taking this principle and I'm applying it to something else. Okay. So the potential is there, right?
Right.
And so you should have that right. All right.
Right.
Okay. So if there is if a man is walking down the street at night and he's closer than I'd like him to be, so there's potential he could hurt me. Do I have the right to act defensively?
Yeah, of course.
No. Do I have the right to shove him, or to hit him, or do anything?
Sure. If he's
no, if he's
attacking.
walking closely. No,
Oh,
if
he's not
there's
attacking.
potential for harm.
Sorry, yeah,
there's
no.
potential,
Okay.
but there's nothing happening.
Okay. No.
So do I have the right to act defensively?
No, I don't think
So then that principle doesn't apply because you're saying that there's the potential I could go out there, but if no action has been taken, then you shouldn't have that right.
Well, why not? Because if it could happen, if.
But you're
Because
not doing anything to earn that right.
So what? I mean, you could be doing. Man, this is getting difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting nervous.
Pause for a second because we have been on this topic for I want to say 8 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it moves pretty quick, and it's not really a back and forth. It's more like a discussion. So I think
Okay.
we can pick a topic.
Sure.
Talk about it for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then I'll move you guys on
All right.
to another one.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know what that topic was. I forget.
Let me see. Yeah.
That was some-
Yeah, I got lost too. I enjoyed that.
Choose another one of
Yeah.
his arguments.
Yeah, I wish I made some points that you could. Okay, let me actually make a point so you can
Sure.
object to it. So I'll be on the defensive.
Go ahead.
So this is not just me wailing on you.
All right.
Okay, let's tackle a more religious aspect of it.
All right.
Okay. I think that it's important for women to have a choice because that's what God gave them in the beginning.
Okay.
So wherever you want to take that. So I think that I'll just keep going until you have an objection.
Well, I do actually, because why do you need a right to vote in order to follow God's commands?
Because it's the same with like the Christian men. I know in like a more private conversation, let me actually get my glasses. In a more private conversation, you had mentioned that it's important for us to vote, and I took your correction.
Yeah.
I was saying that like politically, I don't really care. I don't really pay much attention, and you corrected me. You said that it was like God gives us a responsibility, like we are stewards of our nation, and so we should represent Him in every way, right? As Christians, we need to represent Him politically, right? And so I think that in the same what you said for men, I think it applies to women too, because He gives them, in the beginning, He gave them a right to choose. He let Satan tempt Eve and all that, so He gave them a choice between right and wrong. And I think that's just like an absolute must, is the choice in any situation. You should have a choice.
Right. I mean, you can choose to have children. You can choose to not abort your children without the right to vote. I mean, you can choose.
Yeah. But
you can choose, this could go on and on. Like, you can choose to pursue Christian virtues without the right to vote.
Sure.
You can
But
choose
I
to
think
be a
that
stay-at-home wife,
yeah. You can choose, but you don't have a direct I think it's important that they have a direct impact on the politics specifically, because you can.
And they do. And you know what happens is we have the most corrupt, the most liberal, most progressive, most degenerate society we've ever had.
Yeah, but I don't think you can blame. I think that's just corrosion in general over time. So
It's all about corrosion.
Yeah, corrosion over time. Okay, so all right, so
How does that work?
Because
corrosion?
listen, so I'm actually going to take something I learned from work. So corrosion over time with any group of people, this is going to happen. So let's say whenever we have like a new trainee, they always start out really great. I'm like, oh, there's so much potential. Like they're doing this, they're doing what I trained them to do. They're following procedures exactly as I've told them.
Right.
Over time, though, they become complacent and they stop following the rules as well. And it's like, I have to constantly correct them. Like, man, whatever happened? What happened to they respected me at first. And so corrosion over time, it can happen for a multitude of reasons, but it's inevitable with any individual. Like, all right, let's say you take up a hobby, you start running. When you start running, you do it 4 times a week. You go for 3 miles, okay, 4 times a week. Over time, you're like, oh man, I don't really feel like it. I just my body is tired. It's just I don't see the point in it. I'm just, and so you slowly but surely you kind of you go to 2 miles, 1 mile. You go to 2 days, 1 day, and then you just stop going. You just stop trying, right? So this kind of corrosion happens just with humans in general. Whatever you do as a human or a group of people, over time you're gonna not want to do it, and you're gonna find ways around it, and you're gonna stop doing the right thing, and it's just inevitable, right? There has to be measures against that. So I don't think that I'm not surprised, and I don't blame necessarily. I'm not going to blame the women. I'm not even going to necessarily blame the liberals and Democrats for how our society has been corroded.
Who do you blame then?
I blame I blame evil in general. Like as a
Evil.
Christian, I'm not gonna.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure, but who's propagating the evil? Who's the ones like propagating the evil?
I think that.
Who's the
I'm gonna blame
vessel?
man in general.
Men?
Yeah, men in
Blame
general.
men?
No, not just men specifically, like mankind in general.
Oh,
I don't think that. Yeah, if there were, like, let's say we like, I don't know, for some reason America, like, let's say we went on, I don't know. So for some reason, America is all conservative. All right, we're all 100% conservative.
Mm-hmm.
We are, I don't know, we're Christian. I don't think you're going to see a perfect society. I don't think you're going to see a good society.
You don't think if there's only Christians in power who are making all the laws?
Well, perhaps if they really loved Christ, yeah. I mean, we would probably see a better society. But
yeah, we had better society even back as late as the 1950s.
yeah, that's
Things were
true.
much better.
Yeah, I might just retract that. You might have me there. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
There was a lot more godliness and
yeah, I don't think it'll ever be like. Of course, we'll never be perfect. We know that. It'll be a different sets of problems, different kinds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, like, even at our best, like, America was never fair.
Sure. Yeah, you can say
Never
that,
fair to everybody. Never good to everybody.
Yeah.
I think we see today, we see like the most fair America we've ever seen.
Yeah.
The
Well,
most like equally represented and
fair, yeah, like
equal
fair in what
opportunity.
sense?
Like
like
equal
fair.
opportunity. And I think that's why we see so many different things happening.
Until the left kills us, right? Shoots us in the neck, and then we die.
Final thoughts on this topic.
Alright.
Yeah,
Final
you
thoughts.
Right.
All right.
if you wanna.
Sure. Yeah, I think I don't know. I just don't agree with that. The whole, you could say like evil. You can blame everything on evil ultimately, but it doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't solve the problem. We have selfish natures and
Right.
women, like when they vote, they tend to vote for a nanny state and liberal policies and progressive policies and I don't know, things that like hurt them, maybe without their knowing it. Like maybe it like give instant gratification, but hurt them in the long term. It hurt all of us. So yeah, because they infringe on people's risks and stuff. It hurts our freedoms.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I guess going back to my original, what was my original point? Corrosion. Well, I talked a lot about corrosion, but oh yeah, God gives the women the right to vote. I think that it's important that they are represented with a choice in every single aspect that everything that is pertinent to them. So everything that applies to them, politics, just their day-to-day life, who they marry, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever they do.
Yeah.
I think it's important that they have a choice.
Yeah. Well, they had a choice even before they had the right to vote. They had the moral high
But
ground.
It was secondhand. It was influence. They had influence. They didn't have a choice.
No, I don't think
I
so.
can influence you to do something, but I can't make you do it.
Yeah, that's good.
No. But you see, so they had influence on politics, but they didn't have the ability to change anything.
Yeah, they did. They got the Prohibition Act passed, banned alcohol, without the right to vote. That was a Christian temperance.
So why not
movement.
just give them the right to vote?
Because it creates all the issues we were just talking about.
So maybe you can explain the prohibition thing to me.
Yeah, the Prohibition Act, where they banned alcohol. Yeah.
Just how did they get around? How did they ban alcohol?
Because they had influence in society. They weren't used as they weren't exploited as voting blocks to be pandered to by corrupt politicians.
So they had to. So they made this happen because they convinced everybody to vote a certain way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then why not just give them the right to vote?
Because
the
first off, like the force doctrine thing, like we were saying. Like,
okay, wait. What year did this happen?
It was 1920s, or no,
So
it was
how
like
many
1919.
Democratic presidents did we have before
Oh,
the
it was
19?
before. It was 1919 or something.
How many Democratic presidents did we have before then?
Before 1920? Quite a few, I'm sure.
So then, obviously, you can't blame women for the Democratic presidents.
No, no, but it wasn't as bad as it is today. We didn't have pornography. We didn't have.
But that's just corrosion of society. That's not just women having the right to vote, because there were bad things that happened back then that women weren't voting.
There were no trans rights, gay rights.
But that wasn't a problem back then. That's only a problem now because we've progressed and people have.
That was a problem back then.
Well, okay, it was a problem, but I mean, not like you're saying, yeah, it was a problem, but it's just more prominent now.
Right, because women voted in gay rights.
I think that would have happened regardless of women's vote.
I don't know about that, man.
Because the more you multiply, it's like the mathematical rule. I forget which one it is. Maybe you can tell me. But it's like the more you have of a certain number, or no, the more you have of something, the more likely. I don't know if it's math actually, but the more likely you have, the more likely it is to be diverse, right? It's to change and all that. But it's like the more Americans there are, the more diversity we'll have. And so the I don't know, and so the things will change. And certain problems will become more prominent because there's more people to have that problem.
Yeah. So you think women should have the right to vote?
Yeah.
Okay. So what conservative position do you actually have then?
What conservative position do I have?
Yeah.
I don't know that I know enough to answer. Wait, how do you mean?
Well, do you believe abortion is wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one. But besides some basic, like I don't like abortion, what other conservative position do you hold?
Well, it's tough. So abortion, I believe, is wrong. I think that gay marriage is wrong. I think that I don't know what are some other. I believe that socialism is bad.
Okay.
Just every form of it.
Okay. So do you know why the socialists infiltrated our education system? No?
You might have a different view on it, so educate me.
Okay, well, it goes back to this thing called Operation Paperclip, where basically, I don't know if I can recall the full history right now, but Operation Paperclip is like basically they brought in a bunch of Bolsheviks. Oh no, it was like from the Nazi. After World War II, we needed help with our technology to beat the Russians in the Cold War. So they brought a bunch of Nazis back to America, and I don't know. It's very complicated. I don't know if I can explain it off the top of my head. I'm really not that clever. So.
Well, then maybe don't use it in an argument yet.
Yeah. So
I'm not sure if we actually moved on to a different topic. It kind of felt like
I think we're very fluid. We're very fluid. Yeah. All right. You give me one.
Okay.
I'll start punching.
Okay.
I'll play offense.
An argument?
Yeah.
All right.
So give me a bullet point.
All right. How do you justify scripture in giving women the right to vote, other than the blessing and curse I have set before you, life and death, choose life? How do you interpret that to mean that women should have the right to vote?
So, I guess beyond the God-given right to choose, it's kind of my strongest argument. Dang.
Okay.
I think that God created, so he set forth his principles in Scripture, right? Here's what's right, here's what's wrong. Here's the laws that I want you to follow, right? I think he created humans to work at the best of our ability together, right? With our combined strengths and knowledge and, masteries, right? None of us have the whole set on our own, right? So I think that God intended for women's, not just their influence, but their their kind of what am I trying to say? Like a more tangible impact, a more hands-on kind of a place in our society. I think the ideal society has everybody's, not just presence and contribution, but their opinions and their voices heard. I think that the best households,
like how they got the Prohibition Act passed before they had the right to vote.
No, that's what I was trying to say. It was like not just their influence, but more than that. I think they should have like a more hands-on, like something they can like really they can have a stronger touch on. They can really not just like passively like.
Well, they have for 100 years, and it's led to really bad outcomes for society.
I think we already went through this. No, I disagree.
Corrosion.
Corrosion, yeah, corrosion, right? I don't think you can blame women for every bad thing that's happened since whenever they got the right to vote. I think that's just that was bound to happen regardless, and I don't know.
It wouldn't have happened if they didn't have the right to vote, bro. That's what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, and I still disagree.
All right, who do you blame it on?
I just blame it on mankind,
No.
like, because.
All
right.
That's a tricky one.
So you're saying okay. Let's say all right. Let's.
If you just like look up women's voting patterns. Like,
No. I hear you, and I believe all the numbers you're putting out, but I don't think that it's women, because it's like because Quran said it's like 7% over, so 7% liberal over whatever percent the conservative. I don't think that's the deciding number right there. I think that it's, I don't know, can you pull up the numbers on like the percent of male voters versus female voters just in general in the US? I wonder how many more men vote than women.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe that'll take us somewhere.
You should read Rachel Wilson's book called The Cult Feminism.
Oh.
That might change your mind.
I don't know. Maybe not.
You don't want to?
No. I might read it at some point, but I got a long list of books.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. If you, if there's a faster way to go about it, I would love to.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like anything I can say will change your mind on, rescinding the 19th.
Let me read this right quick. Women are registered to vote in the U.S. at higher rates than men. In recent years, the numbers of women registered to vote in the U.S. has typically been about 10 million more than the number of men registered to vote. In 2024, the gender gap in registered voters was 8.7 million.
8.7 million.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a big difference.
But yeah,
I think it's any wonder that we have such a corrupt society. I know.
I don't know, man. I'd still disagree. I think that I don't know, because it's hard to say what that 7%, does that change the outcome or not? Mm-hmm. That's what I would want to know. Does the 7% that lean liberal change the outcome of the vote?
Yeah. So you think God is pleased with women's right to vote right now?
I would say so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Do you think he's pleased with all the gay rights and trans rights and
no, I don't think so.
The liberal policies. Then why would you say he is pleased?
Because we're following the principle that he set forth.
Yeah, but he never intended for, I don't think he intended for women to gainsay, like aside from that, like even the forced doctrine, like Christianity is a patriarchy. Nobody in the Bible had suffrage. Why don't you think that God granted anybody in the Bible suffrage then?
So define suffrage for me.
Oh, the right to vote.
The right to vote. Okay. I think that the society was just completely different. Because like, if you look at the Israelites, the society that God set up for them was just completely different. It's not voting. It's not you have a king, you follow your king.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Or you have a king, but you follow God and then you respect your king.
Yeah.
That was the culture in the society. There wasn't a vote to set up. I think that if there was a vote to set up, then I think that God would want everybody to be equally represented.
Interesting. So why wouldn't he just give the Israelites the right to vote? Why didn't he just?
Because I don't think America is God's ideal society.
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't agree either.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the structure, like from everything, from the culture to the structure, like I don't think that. I think if we structured America like the Israelite nation, then I think that a lot of people would leave, and then we could be an Israelite, or we could be a righteous nation, a nation before God. I think that if America was just 100% Christian, I think that would be for the best.
Yeah.
I think we'd be a better society altogether.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm against kicking out the liberals and everyone else.
Why?
Because the liberals play a big part in our society, and it wouldn't be right for us to just kick them out.
Yeah, very big bad part of it.
Yeah, whatever you want to say. I mean, they're a part of our society.
Any thoughts on this? You got a minute?
Okay.
They helped us build the society, and they have so they should have the right to remain in it.
Okay.
I think if you I guess this kind of goes into our second point nicely, but I think that it's changed for God. I think that the Israelite nation in the Bible that we read about, that God set up as He wished. I think that is. I don't think that that's His intention for how we're to go about things. I think. What am I trying to say? It's like, I think that the like as a nation, we are to be stewards, right? We are to vote as Christians in our nation. Yeah. We are to be stewards and to vote. But I think God's heart for what we are to do has changed. I don't think He wants us to be the Israelite nation that like separated themselves and was like, we won't, like they separated themselves from the rest of the world. Really, God kept them preserved. He kept them, separate for a lot of reasons. But I think that God's heart has changed, and it's less of like a nationalism and more of like a smaller. Like, I think His heart is more for the church than it is for the nation.
Right. Okay, so why do you think the founders didn't give women the right to vote?
That was the culture that they knew, and they acted on their best, on what they thought was best.
Okay. Well, why do you think that women didn't want the right to vote?
I don't. I think it was just not even a thought in them. I don't think it was possible to them.
Well, they didn't want the right to vote because they knew it would lead to really bad outcomes.
I don't know.
They knew they couldn't.
I think if you interviewed the women back in the day, I don't think that would be their answer.
Yeah, they were very smart women. They weren't ignorant or stupid. They were very the anti-suffragettes, by the way, far outnumbered the suffragettes. All the women who were for suffrage, the anti-suffragettes, those who were against suffrage, it was not even close. And they knew that if women had the right to vote, they would no longer have the moral high ground. And they even predicted like women would stop getting married and having children. And they knew like they didn't want to be drafted. Like they didn't want to go to a war and get their heads blown off. And that's what happens when that's why men should have the right to vote, because only they can be drafted. It's like only they can be. Well, I guess we went through this already. So I guess we'll change the subject.
Yeah, we're circling back.
All right.
Back to old war zones.
So we are at 45 minutes. Do you want us to stop this? You want me to stop this recording and then take a break and then go back into it?
What do you want? Do you want to take a break?
I'm down for whatever. I'll go into it, or I'll take a break.
Let's keep trucking. We have a few more.
All right.
I have a few questions. What do you think is women's most important role in society? Or what are they most valued for?
I think their ability to birth children would be practically the most valuable.
So you would say we should structure society in a way that is the most conducive to that outcome for women, right?
I suppose that would make sense.
Yeah. So what do you think is the number one factor that's keeping women from having children these days?
That's tough. I'm not ready to answer that. But if I had to take a wild guess, I guess I can assume where you're gonna take it. But I would say that just the culture in general. I don't think that men are doing a good job of, trying to get married and have children and settling down in general. I talk to a lot of men who just don't want to have children at all. So I don't think you can blame it solely on feminism.
I think you can, actually.
I know a lot of feminists who want to have children.
Right. Feminists, yeah, that's the thing. Like, they say they want to have kids, but usually, sometimes they only say that because they want a life of luxury.
Luxury? I wouldn't. I don't know. Is that? What do you mean by that? They want a life of luxury.
Like, they want a man who can provide, can protect them, can give them what they want. But when you get down to the nitty and gritty, it's usually they just want just those things. They don't want to pursue the virtues or whatever, or the duties toward their husband. Like having children.
I think what's throwing me off is there's so our definitions of feminism and our ideas of them are going to be very different, right? Because the feminist movement is such a broad term. So I don't think there's I guess more of a spectrum. There's a super feminist and there's a feminist who believes in the basic rights of women. And so it depends on what kind of what level of feminist we're talking about or what degree.
Yeah, like all the OnlyFans girls.
Okay, well that's different in general.
Yeah,
that's on the crazy, way out there side.
Oh yeah.
So that's what you think of when you think of feminists. Okay.
No. A feminist is just someone who, even lots of conservatives are, covert feminists who say they're conservative, but when you get down, when you really probe, you actually find out.
So define feminists for me.
All right, feminism. We'll just define feminism.
Okay.
Feminism is the movement toward egalitarianism in society by deconstructing the patriarchy.
Okay.
So women's right to vote, women's suffrage. Anybody who says, I want women to be able to vote, I automatically pin them as a feminist, because that's not a conservative principle.
Right.
None of the the founding fathers didn't give women the right to vote. So when you say you're conservative, I disagree. I think you're a feminist and a liberal, because you want women to have the right to vote.
I think that's very. I think that's very radical of you to say.
Yeah, because that's what you're enabling them to be feminists, actually, by advocating for their right to vote. Because what they're doing is they're actually usurping men's authority by having the right to vote to send them off to war, which they themselves don't have to fight. So they can make, that's one form of it. But another form is
it's still a very broad term to me. So I guess we'll just have to keep going, because I don't think I'm going to get more clarity.
Okay.
Okay. So continue on what you were asking me questions.
Oh yeah. What do you think? What do you think of Andrew Tate? Do you listen? Are you very familiar with Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that. I think he's very radical in a lot of ways. I mean, I think he's respectful. Mm-hmm. I think there are good qualities, of course, but I don't think he's a great role model. Mm-hmm. If he's your role model, then that's fine.
No.
But I think that it depends on who you want to be and what kind of a person you want to be. But he wouldn't be my role model.
Okay. Are you familiar with many of the points he makes?
Yeah. I agree with his some of his more conservative points.
Okay.
But there's so much that I have to disagree with.
Yeah.
I don't know if the perception or the version we see of him on his YouTube is the same. Or I don't know if he's exaggerating is what I'm saying. Yeah. But I think he exaggerates to a point where I can't agree with him.
Okay.
What about you? What was the point of your question?
Oh, what do I think of Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. When he's just giving descriptors, things of what is, or descriptions of what is going on right now, then I agree with mostly all of it. When he's, giving prescriptions for what people should be doing, I think he's wrong.
Okay.
Polygamy, society, very bad for society. You
Right.
agree, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So but I think he has some really base takes.
I think at the base of his, at like the base of his views, I agree
Mhm.
with him at a base level.
Yeah.
But I guess his kind of prescriptions for society, or just a life for men in general, I have to disagree with.
Right. Yeah. So what do you think women think of him?
I think they would. Most women I talk to are pretty disgusted.
Yeah. Well,
Because
they-
but also a lot of the women I talk to that are disgusted by him have never actually seen his video.
Mhm.
It's more of like a secondhand, or they'll see a clip,
They're
or
looking
they'll
at TikTok.
yeah,
People
that
who,
kind of
like,
thing.
Farm video,
Yeah.
farm all the bad parts of it.
Exactly, yeah.
Put them up.
So I think that plays into it for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like every controversial character is like the people who don't like them kind of love to highlight. Like even in politics, everybody likes to highlight the worst parts of their enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think that I would say that women are generally not fond of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good take.
What's the was there an end to that question?
No, that's all I really had.
Yeah, just curious. Yeah.
know.
Yeah. No. If I was like, oh, I love Andrew Tate. I have his picture on my wall. I live for his podcast.
Yeah, why not, man? Or him over some of the others, right?
I don't know. It depends on who we're talking about here.
Like for instance, Sabrina Carpenter. Like,
Okay, well, sure.
Do you think? What do you think of men? Like, do you think women need men?
If we're talking about like a spiritual,
Yeah,
like
sure.
at the base, so do women, for me, need is strictly to, do I need them to have a relationship with Jesus? No, I don't think so.
Well, actually, I disagree with that because Jesus was a man. So when you say women don't need men, you're actually saying women don't need Jesus.
No. You're getting that twisted. You're talking about does a woman need a man? So not just saying that Jesus is a man, so women need man. That's false because Jesus is not a man. He's a spirit.
He was
He's a spiritual being. Yeah,
was a
he
man.
took the form of a man. He's not a man.
Right. He was a man.
And even if like
Fully man, fully God.
yeah, sure. Yeah. He took the form of a man. He is not a man.
Okay, so what? Like even like just in a physical sense, do you think women need men?
In a physical sense, like you're telling me to like separate the spiritual aspect, like in a society to survive.
Yeah, like to survive.
Yeah, I think it's. I think you can only go for so long. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say if I had to place a bet, I'd say that women wouldn't survive. The like evolution, if we're going off of that.
About 24 hours. Yeah.
I don't know. So if we're
if
talking,
all men-
so
if
it's
all
in
men-
today's society,
all
you
men-
just
if all-
annihilate all men, right?
Yeah, if all men just disappeared, you're gone. There goes all the infrastructure.
I don't know. I'd be curious to see how it goes.
Well, you can read a book about it called "If Men Disappeared," or I think it might be called something else. But
If men disappeared.
there's even a video on whatever podcast where they talk.
I'm not confident enough to take a stance on it, so I'll stay neutral.
Yeah, they go step by step, and it's like 24 hours, 42 hours.
Yeah.
Lots of women would die.
All right.
Literally. See, what else do I have?
If you are talking, so I think that women would maybe in best case scenario, they'll survive until they all get old and die.
Yeah. Well,
So-
no, not even that, because
I'm saying best case scenario. So let's say
the
they
best
can
case
survive.
scenario,
Yeah.
right,
Best
right.
case scenario, they survive until they all get old and die. And then so I think that it's like it's codependence.
right. What do you think that men need women physically?
Yeah, the same best case scenario, we all get old and die.
Okay. But do you think we need them as much as they need us?
Well, it depends on what you mean by that.
Do women take care? Do women build infrastructure? Do women defend the country? Do women go to war? Do women defend the border? Do women, et cetera, et cetera?
They don't, not to the same level that men do.
No, they don't do any of that. That's
No, they
insane.
do some of that.
No, they
They
don't.
just don't do as much.
No, then why aren't they doing it now?
They are. there are women in the military. There are women
Most non-
that are
it's like-
building
I think
infrastructure.
it might
There
be
are-
like 7% of women in the military.
then you can't say that they don't, because that's an absolute
8%.
statement. All right, that's you're saying so you're gonna have to retract that statement, because
No, that's
some of them do, and so that's why I'm saying best case, because they may
so-
survive.
Some of them do what?
Some of them are building infrastructure. Some of them
No.
are in the military.
There's no women doing roofing, bro. There's no room. There's no
Oh,
women
I'll
doing
bet you there are a
concrete.
few.
No, there's not. Then why are they doing it right
There,
now?
so you're saying there's absolutely not a woman on Earth.
I would be very surprised if there was a woman on Earth. who
Is
was
there a
doing
woman
roofing.
who's a roofer?
Yeah, of course you're gonna look at them.
Yeah, please do.
There's not gonna be one. Well, Google just told us that there were women in combat, which is problematic because there's no women in combat.
No, there are. There are women in the
They
military.
can be involved. Yeah, they're in the military, but they're in support roles. That's what
I'll
what
bet
Google
you
is
there's
saying.
fighter pilots that are female.
No, there's almost none.
There's almost none, so there are a few.
No, I would be
so
surprised.
there's a couple. All right, so yes, women work as roofers.
Yeah,
There is also
and they're all contractors. It's
An
contract.
established all-female roofing company based in New Braunfels, Texas.
Yeah, and they're not doing so well, are they?
Well, I mean, they're enough to be noticed. So
That's problematic,
There's a
and
couple
because
more.
no one is gonna be able to survive in the like 140-degree temperatures in the
I don't know. Apparently they do.
I don't
In
think
Texas?
in Texas.
That's where it says they are. They're based in Texas.
That's problematic
How's that problematic?
because like even like they're just not physically equipped for it. Like their body.
Sure. Yeah. They're
just like their body temperatures can't regulate the same way we do. Too.
okay, but I mean, they're doing just fine.
Obviously not. How do you know they're doing fine?
I don't know. There's a whole company.
Who says they're doing anything? They started a company.
I mean, if you have a company, that probably means you're getting
There
some
are
contract.
a couple of all-women roofing things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to bring this back to the base, I think that
Right.
women need men, men need women. That's how God created it, and so that's how it has to be.
Yeah. So why do you think God created Adam first? No? Who knows how long Adam was by himself?
Yeah, and what did he say? It is no good for men to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
So
No good for
obviously, he
men to
wasn't
be
doing
alone.
too hot.
Oh, I guess so. I guess not.
Yeah. If God created women, I don't think it would be. I think it's wrong of you to say that that men doesn't need them. Men don't need women.
I
That's
never said that. I think men do need women, but not as much as they need us. You know what I'm saying? Like just common sense. Like yeah, I think we would last a lot longer if women
we
disappeared.
might last a little bit longer. Yeah, for sure. We might have better survival instincts. That doesn't mean we'll do well.
Well, no, I think we would do all right, without women for a little bit. Of course, we would all die off eventually. But,
Yeah. Or just get really lonely. We'll all be hitting the bars and the gym.
yeah, yeah.
Kind of sounds like a moot point if we're all gonna end up dead anyway. If we
Right? It doesn't matter how well you do, as long if you're ending up dead anyway. That's true.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to get a feel for what you, I don't know,
Yeah.
like how conservative you really are. But
No, yeah,
that's
no. I
just
mean,
interesting.
it's I'm in a weird spot politically because I am conservative.
You're not a conservative.
We agree to disagree. So anyway, I believe
You're
I'm
just that.
conservative.
Why didn't the founding fathers grant women the right to vote?
Why didn't? Because they didn't think. I guess they didn't think it was a good idea.
Right. So
But did the founding fathers do everything right?
yeah, I think. Well, no, because they didn't make Christianity the dominant religion.
So then, did they?
Well, they did a lot of things wrong, but
So then, is it possible that they could have been wrong
not
about this?
granting women the right to vote was not one of them.
Maybe if you give me that book, maybe I'll read it.
Yeah, you should. Man.
Yeah, I'm nothing if not open-minded.
can move on to another question or topic.
Okay. Oh boy.
Let's tackle the big one.
Politics in church.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Why do you think we shouldn't bring politics into church?
I think that. Boy, this is like a whole new opening statement.
Yeah. So
It's a loaded question. So I don't think we should bring politics into church, specifically nowadays. I don't think that politics should, or religion should play. I think religion shouldn't directly influence politics. So I don't think the church should be talking about politics. I think that you as a Christian should be talking about politics. I don't think it belongs in the church.
Why not?
Because the church, in Scripture, I should have written down the specific passages, but it talks about how the church is supposed to be a picture of heaven, right? Do you think we're going to be talking about who we should vote for in heaven?
Yeah, no, because Jesus Christ is King.
Exactly. So I don't think that politics really has a place in church. I think the church should be a place where you can kind of separate the rest of the world, and you can just be fully, transfixed. Maybe not transfixed, but your full attention should be on God. And so I think that as a Christian, your religion or your religious.
Where in the Bible does it say that? In church, you should solely be focused on God.
I think that I think I just get that from how it says that church is like supposed to be like a picture of heaven. I don't think that you'll be focused on earth when you're in heaven.
Yeah, Jesus said, "Bring heaven, or Father in heaven, your will be done. Your kingdom come to heaven, or to earth as it is in heaven."
And so it's saying, let's not. But he didn't say. Please let Donald Trump win the election.
Oh, of course, he didn't say that.
No. He said, let's let earth be more like heaven.
Right.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he's asking for. He's not asking for the matters of the world. He's not saying, hey, this specific thing, can you change this on earth, right? Please. No, he's saying, let's make earth more like heaven.
Right. So let me ask you this: would you tell that to a Jew during the Holocaust?
What do you mean?
Would you tell them? Would you tell? Let's see. What would you tell that to a Jew? Like, would you tell a Jew? Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna vote to get you out of the Holocaust because Jesus said, "Bring heaven to earth."
No. Now, as a Christian, your religion should affect the way you vote and the things you do politically. Absolutely.
Yeah. So why is it that like 55% of Christians abstain from the vote during the last election?
I think you're derailing.
Well, it was a Charlie Kirk statistic. I can't remember what he pulled it up from, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean that's not about this. That doesn't affect this. I think that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Sure, I think that Christians should vote. I don't think you should bring politics into the church. My point still stands.
Well, what if we're talking killing and mutilation of children?
I think that you as a Christian should be outspoken about your political beliefs. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you should do it in church.
Okay, so, but you still really haven't given an argument as to why, other than that, Jesus said church should be
I think that's
heaven.
a strong enough argument.
Yeah, so church should be like heaven. Heaven is perfect. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it's not okay to bring politics into church because politics is corrupt.
No. I don't think because the worldly matters don't have a place in heaven, and so they shouldn't have a place in church.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So next question. What? Nah. I really want to stay on this one.
Well, I mean, you can if you want to give some reasons as to why you think politics should be in church.
Yeah. Honestly, like my biggest reason is probably that, even I don't know. When it comes to things like the Holocaust, or you should probably charge your congregation to vote against that, because honestly, like, how does that seem right? Not to charge your congregation to vote against it.
I think that I'll let you finish.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of short-winded in these things. But
yeah. So okay. So you're saying you should charge your congregation to vote against the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. I think that your congregation should vote against it. I don't think you should bring it up in church. But listen. Before you.
How will you bring it up?
So I think if you are doing a good job of shepherding your flock, and everybody in the church believes in Christ and loves Christ, I think they will vote regardless of what you do.
Yeah.
They will vote against the Holocaust.
Yeah. No, because why did 55% of Christians abstain from the vote?
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think you can't control what they do. but that doesn't mean that you need to overstep. I mean, I think
Yeah, but how do you know? Like,
You-
how do you know if they're genuinely saved?
you shouldn't violate the principle that God puts forth, regardless. Or regardless of circumstances. Circumstances don't make a wrong thing right.
Right. So, do you think it was good for the Pharisees then to talk about their laws in the synagogues and stuff?
No.
You don't think they were right to do that?
So in the past, you've said that the Pharisees were kind of like political figures, right?
Yeah.
I think the reason that Jesus was so mad at them was because they're mixing politics and religion. They're taking the things that he doesn't think matter and they're putting them in the church. And they're
So you should teach the 10 Commandments in church then.
no, I think you should.
But that's political though, isn't it?
Not inherently.
Yeah, because it's a set of laws.
It's a set of laws, yeah, but it doesn't.
Oh, it was made by a king too.
Yeah, it's a set of laws for sure. But it's not inherently political because you're not. It depends on how you apply them. Are you applying them personally, or are you applying them in your government, or are you applying them? I don't know. However, it depends on your application of those.
Sure. Okay.
So it's not
Laws.
like I don't know. There are political laws in the Bible. Yeah. Like if you just read the end of Exodus or Deuteronomy or Numbers, there's lots of political laws that aren't necessarily spiritual ones.
Yeah.
But the 10 Commandments is not one of those. It's you can apply it personally, or you can apply it in your government or corporately.
Yeah. So why is it okay to put the 10 Commandments up in the hall or in the oh man, come on. What is the Supreme Court?
Supreme Court?
Yeah, but it's not okay to, put politics or bring politics into the church.
Because so putting the 10 Commandments in what do you call it, the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
That's bringing heaven to earth. That's not bringing earth to heaven.
Oh man. All right, that's wild, bro.
Is it though? No, I think I'm making sense, because if you're bringing the principles that God gave you and you're applying them to earth and you're bringing them to court, and that's good.
Yeah.
But you can't try to bring something from the world into heaven, into the church.
Okay, so next time Pastor Brenton says the red pill is evil, red pill's a bunch of jerks. Red pill doesn't know what they're talking about. You should be like, hey, Pastor Brenton, you shouldn't talk about that because that's political, right?
Yeah.
Or
sure.
next time, I'm sorry, I shouldn't use his name. Next time the big dog says women don't need men, women can take care of themselves. That's a political statement.
I don't remember him ever saying that specifically, but
well, I do.
Maybe you would know better than I do.
Yeah. I can tell you the exact month, the exact year he said it.
Yeah, I don't think you should bring politics. Well, okay, no. That's not a political matter. No, women don't need men. That's just.
Did you say that again?
That's not like.
Say that one more time.
That's not inherently political.
You heard that?
For the microphone.
Yeah, for the mic. So saying
I
that
heard you
saying that women don't need men is not inherently political.
Oh, so you're not saying? Well, I don't know. Yeah, it is, because that is a political statement.
No. It's political only because no, actually, it's not even.
That you know who that comes? That comes straight from Betty Friedan. She was a feminist in the 1970s who said that men.
No, that's a statement. That's not. No. You can make that a political statement by using it at a rally or on your campaign or whatever. But it's not. That's not a political statement. There's no vote right or left in that.
Yeah. Well, Jesus said in the beginning, God made them male and female.
Okay.
That would be taken as a political statement these days.
Sure. Yeah, that can be. Yeah, that can be received. It's all about your application.
Yeah.
Are you applying that politically, or are you applying that personally, or religiously, or whatever?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think that's inherently political.
Maybe not back then, but now it is.
No, it's not, because it's all about your application. How are you taking it? How are you using it?
Well, you can apply it whatever way you want, but I mean, it wouldn't matter. It's still political,
It has the potential to be political, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, so are you saying it's just we shouldn't bring politics into church because it's too offensive?
No, that's not at all what I'm saying.
But Because it takes the focus off of God.
You're using some cheap shots here, bro. No.
I was trying to ship you out there.
All right, I'm gonna
You're
make
too
this
smart.
statement once more.
You're too smart.
You shouldn't bring politics into the church because the church is supposed to be a picture of heaven. That's the reason. Because you can't bring earth to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You should bring heaven to earth. It should be the reverse. You should be trying to bring church out into your life, not your life into church.
Mm-hmm. So what if, like, I don't know, the church has, I don't know, a bunch of, I don't know where to go with this.
Yeah.
I'm stuck.
It's all right. We can move on.
I was really hoping you would fall for, so we shouldn't bring politics to church because it's too offensive.
Yeah. Your
Because,
signature
the
curveball.
gospel is offensive. The gospel makes people.
Yeah,
walk out,
absolutely, it does. Absolutely.
Yeah, if your argument is it's too offensive, do you think any of the disciples or Jesus were political?
Sure. I don't think Jesus was. I think people use him as a political figure. I don't think he was. I don't think that was his purpose, his intent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he held political beliefs, but that's just because he has beliefs.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think it's because he was mingling in politics.
Okay. So why can't we be political? Well, I guess we can, but why can't we be political in church?
Because I don't think
it's just a picture of heaven.
When you're in like the presence of God, I don't think that who you're voting for is really going to matter.
In the presence of God.
Yeah, when you're or who you voted for. So when we get to heaven and we're just like awestruck and we're just like there's nothing to compare.
I think it would matter because if you're voting to kill babies, if you're voting to do all that. If you're voting to mutilate children.
If you vote specifically for abortion, like if you are like endorsing it, I would take a second glance at your profession of faith or whatever you would say, however you would say that. Yeah. But I don't think that.
So why not just charge your congregation to vote against the killing of children?
Because there's no place for it in church.
It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no. It's not a matter of time or like. It's not to say that those things aren't important. Those things are incredibly important. Mm-hmm. But when you're preaching from the pulpit, you are trying to teach. You're trying to get at the root of the problem, pretty much. So it's not a matter of like. It's like a quick fix.
Yeah. So the root. You think the root of the problem is they're not trusting in Jesus?
Yeah, they don't fully understand the character of God.
Right.
So I think you should put more emphasis on personal relationship with God. Mm-hmm. If you really want to solve the problem, that's the solution. Mm-hmm. Is personal relationship with God, studying the Bible, meditation on, His Word, waiting on Him to speak.
Well, that won't help you unless you're actually genuinely saved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Where was I going with this? Man, I had a point here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's good. I think, I know we're both blanking in front of the camera. Jeez. Yeah, no. But yeah, I think, just to
Yeah, how many atheists do you think like come to church? Or like secularists or whatever?
How many atheists? Yeah, I don't think many.
Yeah.
I've known a couple who have like been, have confessed to being atheists that have gone.
Almost none, right?
Yeah, probably almost no atheists.
How many hypocrites do you think are in the church?
Like, many.
Yeah.
Lots. I think there are hypocrites that run mega churches.
Yeah. So, and they probably like attend regularly, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what would it do if like, they probably heard the gospel many times.
Sure.
So what would that do then if they're not, what would that do to change their vote if they've already heard the gospel and they're not accepting it? Wouldn't it be right just to tell them to vote against?
No, because that won't change anything.
You don't think?
No, because if they won't receive, like if they don't respond to the gospel, or they don't care about it, then why do you think they're going to care about?
Maybe they're just ignorant politically, honestly.
if they were ignorant politically, I think it's a conversation you can have outside of church. I don't think it belongs in the church.
Right.
So if your pastor goes to your house, or just meets you outside church, and is like, you're talking about politics, and you share, you're like, oh, I think that God, I think Christians should vote more conservatively. That's fine. I'm not saying that a pastor can't say that.
Sure.
I'm saying in church. I don't think it belongs in church.
Okay. What if? So it's okay to preach the gospel in church. It's just not
absolutely.
okay to talk about politics.
Yeah.
So isn't the gospel political though?
No.
Yeah, because you're telling the person if you could go to hell for eternity if you don't repent and put your trust in Jesus.
Sure. Yeah.
And you're telling the person that Jesus is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That's a political statement, wouldn't you say?
No, that's you're talking about spiritual things.
No, like political, because Jesus is a king. That's political.
Jesus is a king. Sure. Yeah, that's a political figure. A king is a political figure.
Why else were the disciples dying for their faith?
Because it's a spiritual, because their soul.
Because they were breaking the law.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
The Romans had like political laws that said you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
The Jews had laws too that said you couldn't do that. Wouldn't you say that's political?
I think that's politics interfering with the matters of God. The matter of the spiritual things.
So do you think that you don't think that all politics is religious then?
I think that the people in politics are religious.
Yeah.
So I guess.
So could you even have politics without religion?
Could you have like government and let me think about that.
Could you make any moral decision without
I'm not sure.
religious foundation?
I guess not. No.
No, because you don't have. There's no religion. If you don't believe in any objective moral, being.
Yeah, then you can't make any choices.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
You have no moral basis.
Okay.
Yeah. So all politics is religious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's wrong with being politics in the church?
Because again, I'm gonna just say this as many times. You can have religion. Your religion will bleed into your life.
Yeah.
So it'll affect every aspect. Politics. So yeah, religion is not doesn't stem from politics. Politics stems from religion. And so it's like, I don't think that, I still am going to say politics don't belong in church because your religion or your political beliefs are, they stem from your religion. And so like, why does it matter who you're voting for politically? That when the main matter at hand is your spiritual well-being.
Yeah, I'll say this much. The gospel isn't something we go to church to preach, it's something we go from church to preach.
Sure.
Right. So.
Yeah, you take it out of church.
Yeah. And in my opinion, like the gospel is a lot more offensive than telling somebody to vote for.
Sure, but just because it's offensive doesn't mean doesn't add importance to it.
Right. I mean, it has the same. I don't know. It's a lot more offensive, like to tell somebody they're going to hell for eternity if they don't repent.
Oh yeah.
They don't repent and trust in Christ, and like telling someone you should probably vote Republican or Democrat in order to save a lot of babies.
Depends on the person.
You think?
Yeah. Anyway.
How is that not more offensive?
No, I'm mostly joking. I'm mostly joking. But yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's about it.
Okay.
Honestly.
So. Yeah. I'm not seeing your point really.
Well, yeah. I mean, we shouldn't. Like, the gospel is not for church. Is what I'm saying.
It's not solely for church. Yeah.
No,
sure.
The gospel means good news. You're to go into the world. Jesus said, "Go into the world and preach the gospel." He didn't say do it in the church.
He didn't say go to church and talk about politics.
Yeah. So if you're not talking about the gospel in church. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, then you should be talking about the gospel in church. You preach the gospel from the pulpit, the gospel message.
No, because who wants to hear it?
What's important for us to hear over and over again is repetition. And, it's not just the gospel message at church. Like, okay, so everything about the Bible, from like the beginning to end, it's all about Jesus, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the main message is we're sinners in desperate need of a Savior, and God is that Savior. Jesus is that Savior, right? So everything in the Bible tells us that. Yeah. Okay, everything we study along the way tells us that, whether it's the 10 Commandments or it's Jonah and the big fish, right? Whatever. Or it's, I don't know, or you're talking about, the measurements of the temple. Yeah. I think everything will lead you to that conclusion, that Jesus is my Savior, I need Jesus, right? And so it's not, so the gospel message is what you're preaching, right? But you're doing it in different ways. So you're teaching practical principles that stem from that belief. So if Jesus is your Savior, is at the top, it's like the root. Everything else is a branch of that. So you can talk. So Brenton talks a lot. The pastor of my church preaches very practical principles, like. Yeah, like
I'm guilty.
Yeah, exactly. Oops, sorry.
I'm going to hell.
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't get 10 million views and you're just all over the internet. But anyway, so
That'd be funny.
That would be the twist ending of my life. All right. Anyway, so what was I saying? So Brenton, a preacher, should be teaching, I believe, through the Bible, verse by verse, chapter by chapter, right? Yeah. If you're doing that, then you're going to run into some passages that you don't really see how the gospel message is there at first. But if you dive deep enough, then it'll be very clear. Yeah. So I think when you say, if we're not preaching the gospel message, what are we talking about? I think you should always be preaching the gospel message. It just takes different forms. It doesn't always have to be Matthew, Mark, Luke, John.
Sure.
You can preach from Ezra, Esther, Psalms, Revelation. And I think you'll still be preaching the gospel message if you're doing it right.
Right on.
Sounds good. All right. Anything else you want?
Yeah, just one more, I think. If I could think about it. What do you think of female clergy and female pastors?
In the church?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the Bible is very clear about that.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I just want to, because that is like the most debated topic ever, is whether or not.
It's weird.
Yeah, because there were female apostles, but I guess like apostles is not the same as a pastor.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like authority. I don't think.
Yeah. There were also female deaconesses, but the reason they were deaconesses was, like, when women were getting baptized, and none of the men wanted to do it because that's inappropriate.
Right.
So they had deaconesses.
Right. Yeah. So they had authority, but it was over women, not over men. That's what you're saying. Yeah. I think I'd agree with you there.
Yeah.
I don't think that women should. I don't think it was God's intention for women to have authority in the church.
Okay. So should they have authority ever? Period.
You're sneaky.
I like that.
Yeah. So authority ever.
Because if you look at that verse,
authority over themselves, yes.
Yeah. No, authority over men.
I don't know. It's interesting. Let me say why. Because from what I know, like, this is just a raw thought. So from what I know, I'll say, no, I'd agree with you. I don't think that it's God's intention for women to have authority over men ever. Sure, but what do you think of this? It's like, how when God's talking about marriage, how he's talking about how he's talking to the men. He's like, your body is not your own; it's your wife's. So it's like you no longer have authority over you. It's your wife has authority, and vice versa. Right? He's talking to the women. He's like, you don't have authority over your body. Your husband does. So it's like, in marriage, would be I would say the exception, because you have authority over each other.
No, because the Bible also says, wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. So that's not like a partnership where one party can walk out with no consequences. That's saying there's a captain and there's a first mate. If the first mate starts disobeying the captain, they're going to have problems. Yeah, someone's going to get thrown overboard.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but
Analogy?
no. I
Or
mean,
good thing?
no, I think your analogy gets your point over well. I think it's just the point I disagree with.
Oh, really? Well, how so?
Throwing overboard, that seems a little crazy.
Yeah, well, because there's consequences. Right?
Sure, there's consequences, but I don't think it should be throwing overboard.
Oh, okay. A few lashes then. What?
No.
It's just,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just like if you.
sure, there's consequences, yeah, but what those are is a different subject.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of marriage is? Do you think marriage is just a team where you work together and you can walk out on each other?
I think that God always has it. I think there should always be authority.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So should women have the authority to usurp men's authority?
I don't think that was God's intention.
So why do you advocate for women to vote then?
Because it's not so much authority. Like one's vote doesn't have more. Doesn't.
Yeah, it does. You
more than others.
Yeah, you have the right to negate someone's vote. Like, why should an 18-year-old have the right to negate some like 50-year-old
No.
well-informed vote?
If you vote, it doesn't cancel anybody out. It's just like
Yeah, it does.
it's just
Yeah,
your
it can.
opinion. It's your opinion on the matter. Well, it depends. That's how you look at it. You say, oh well, this cancels out that. Well, I say it's just like the numbers go up. I don't think you can necessarily say it cancels out. It doesn't take away the value from the other person.
Yeah, it does.
No, because the value is still there, because without your vote, that person would have, like, if it was, let's say it was like 50-50 split, there's one vote remaining.
Yeah.
Like, if they vote, or let's say there's two votes remaining. All right, if you vote for the left and I vote the right, it doesn't mean your vote doesn't matter, because without your vote, the right would win.
Yeah.
So I'm just not taking away value from your vote.
Yeah. What if you're all voting for the same thing? That would make a difference. Right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if everybody wanted the same thing, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But everybody doesn't want the same thing.
I think men and women want different things, but like generally, I think the average man will want the same thing. Average man will want.
I don't know. That's up for debate. I think I think that's a can of worms.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of men, like in every, like you and I are both Christian, but we want different things, right? You may disagree, but we're both conservative and we want different things.
Oh, sure. Like, for some reason you want women to have the right to vote, but I don't. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we both hold conservative values, but we want different
don't.
things.
You're not conservative.
All right, one thing you disagree. I don't think that's just like you can't say that's just a conservative value, is that women shouldn't have the right to vote.
It is.
That's not a conservative. That's not a cornerstone conservative value.
Yeah, it is. Conservatism is rooted in preserving the traditions and ideals that where our country was founded upon, which were almost entirely Christian.
I don't think misogyny was one of them.
That's not misogyny, bro. That's protecting women.
No, hold on. I just knew I had to get.
You do agree that Christianity is a patriarchal religion,
right? I guess if you get really theoretical.
It has to be. How can you not agree that patriarchy is a crime?
Well, I've never thought of it like that. So I guess sure.
Yeah. So should women have the authority, or should women be able to take men's authority away?
But America is not a Christian nation.
Yeah, we are. What are you talking about? You are a liberal.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that is a liberal talking
No,
point.
I'm saying I'm saying I wish it was, but it's not.
You're saying it's not anymore?
Yeah, I'm saying it's not anymore.
Well, okay, no, but it was, right? It kind of is actually, because we still have like the 10 Commandments and the Supreme Court.
But like having something on the like there are non-believers who have Christian things on the wall, or they wear crosses. That doesn't mean they're Christian.
Sure, but it means they believe in Christian values. And
do they though?
Yeah, I mean.
No, because like there are lots of unbelievers who have Christian necklaces with like a little like cross, a cross or a verse. They just like, but that doesn't mean they have Christian values. That just means they like the way it looks or what it says about them.
Huh. I don't think so. You're still saying we're not a Christian nation right now.
Because I think, well, Christian nation is all about action. I don't think we're taking Christian actions as a nation.
Mm-hmm. And whose fault is that?
It's the liberals and the Democrats.
You got it, man.
But it's not the women.
It's not the women. It's just the liberals and the Democrats.
Yeah. Remember in the garden, what did Adam say? Mm-hmm. It was the woman, Lord.
Because it was. She was the one who got deceived.
No, he chose to be deceived.
No, she was deceived first.
Yeah,
Remember,
she was deceived
it says
for
in
sure.
1 Timothy 2:14.
Sure.
I created Adam first. Because,
But all right. But what's worse? What's worse? Being deceived or choosing the wrong thing?
They're both the same thing.
Hey, I don't know about that.
I don't think you can, separate those two.
I don't know. I think, like, let's say you're playing a game, and
Stinky.
yeah, let's say you're playing a game, and and you stink, and everybody's like, oh man, this guy kind of stinks. Like, but you don't know you stink. You're just like playing your game. You just, if you knew you stink, you wouldn't stink. Right? You would just take a shower, or you would put on some deodorant. I don't know, whatever. But let's say you go to this game and you're like, man, I know I stink, but I don't care.
What
right?
are you talking about?
That's worse, because you know the problem is there, but you won't even address it. See, exactly.
Say it one more
I think
time.
I've moved back quite a lot.
Come again.
But you know what I'm saying? It's worse to make the choice to do the wrong thing than it is to just be ignorant of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like if we ate from that tree, but like let's say God didn't say, he was like, you can eat of any tree, and he just left out the fact that one of them was cursed, right? We would instantly just die. All right, let's say he just forgot that. He was like, I forgot. They don't eat of that tree. Yeah. Let's say we ate of the tree. Can we be blamed? He said any tree. But he gave us. He was like, but ignorance.
What's your point?
Ignorance is not wrong. Choosing the wrong thing is.
I don't agree. Ignorance is wrong. Even if you're ignorant, I don't know. Let's say you're like a wolf man. You were raised in the woods your entire life by wolves.
Just a wild analogy.
You get picked up, and you get put in the city. They give him a suit, they give him a tie, they give him a shower. Oh wait, first they give him the shower. Then they give him the suit.
Everything's going through the shower, y'all.
And then the first thing he does when he gets out in the city is he finds a woman, he rapes her, and then he strangles her to death. And then the court of law, he says,
"Wow, okay,
yeah,
what a twist ending to this story, man."
His lawyer says, "Judge, he was raised by wolves. He had ignorance of the law. He didn't know it was wrong." The judge is going to say, he's going to jail because ignorance of the law is no excuse. Every person has a conscience. Right? Conscience is written.
Yeah, so we have a conscience. I don't think that would happen.
Right.
Without him, disobeying his conscience.
Yes, 10 Commandments. It's like the impartial judge on the courtroom of a mind.
But going back to
it's written on our hearts.
Yeah.
Conscience.
But going back to the garden, Eve didn't know. She didn't have, the conscience wasn't working at that point. She wasn't like, oh, this is wrong. She didn't know it was wrong.
Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't.
How did she not know it was wrong?
Because she was deceived. She didn't.
Oh, because she was deceived. Huh?
Yeah.
Right. So
does it, because was it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but was I think Adam created and then God gave the command and then Eve was created, or was it they were both created and then God gave the command?
No. Adam was created and we don't know how long he lived by himself.
And God was like, you can eat of any tree, just not that one.
Yeah.
And then Eve was created.
Yeah.
Oh, so then,
oh man.
Was it really God's?
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
So then, was it Adam's job to give that information to Eve? Do you think it's possible that he might have just left that out?
Well, yeah. I mean, even if we do, like, give women all the information they need on what to vote for, they still, like, most of them probably wouldn't do it. Because
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. They're a little bit. They're like, you wouldn't say women are the most rational creatures, would you? So, we don't promote misogyny here, by the way.
Careful.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I got a girlfriend. I don't know. No, yeah.
Dennis, you can't really be misogynistic when there's no women around.
Agree to disagree. But But yeah, no, sure.
They're
I mean,
everywhere.
I think
There's too many of them.
so I'm not gonna say that women are irrational. I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when under certain circumstances, they tend to be
Yeah.
maybe a little more in the feels.
A little less rational.
In my experience.
Yeah. A little less rational than men. Right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, you're not a misogynist for saying that, by the way. It's just like, that's just facts.
Yeah, that's just observation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm glad we agree on something.
Right. Yeah.
Point for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All right, anything else you wanted to,
Oh,
or is that kind of closing it?
any last
Because I feel like
minute
we hit everything
jump starts?
pretty thoroughly.
Yeah. I think that's it, man.
I'm gonna look more into this because I'm curious now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected to get beaten pretty badly, but
Right.
I'm glad it went well.
Yeah. Well, I try. You know, I don't know if I could like try to beat you again. No,
Yeah, we'll have to
I
pick
like-
a topic that I'm more familiar with.
Yeah. Adrian.
We'll have to find something else you disagree on.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about how conservatives you don't need to be conservative to, or it doesn't disqualify you as a conservative if you believe in women's right to vote.
Women's right to vote.
Yeah. But
Oh,
but thank you. Should we close?
sure. You're not a conservative. You're a feminist.
All right, buddy. Until next time. Until next time.